Coming up on this episode of Winning Bets, it's time to roll out a huge weekend slate of bets. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on today's episodes. We've got a monster episode for you today. We've got 6 bets spanning Friday and Saturday. Lots of action. There's a lot of good winning bets out there to be had. So let's jump right into the action. Our first bet is, of course, going to be on today, Friday's action. We've kind of got to get a little creative here on how we're going to make this combination here to make our odds work. So what we'll do is, first, we'll go to Serie A and we'll look at Juventus. They're playing Leach. Look, Leach is towards the bottom of the table. We know Juventus is in first place and they still need to accumulate as a lot of points as they can to kind of hold off Lazio and Inter for the Serie A championship. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take Juventus. We're going to take the money line. Then we're going to take the over 1.5. So take Juventus money line plus the over 1.5. Now our odds still aren't quite good enough yet there, so we got to bring in another aspect of this bet. So what we'll do is now we'll go to La Liga, and then Sevilla is playing Valladolid. And here's the deal with Sevilla. They're in fourth place. They're clinging on to the all-important fourth place, which you know is the last place to get Champions League football next season. So Sevilla needs to continue racking up points themselves to kind of hold off that fifth place charge that's coming for their all-important fourth place. So if you combine all three of those to take Juventus money line, the over 1.5 in that game, and Sevilla money line. If you parlay all three of those together, that comes in at minus 141, and we like the minus 141 odds. We can work with that. So all three of those in a parlay at minus 141, and that'll be the one bet we have going on for Friday. Saturday's where we've got a load of action. I'm really looking forward to Saturday's card. It's got a lot of action, and where we're going to go with Saturday is going to be the FA Cup. Premier League goes to a little bit of a back burner here, and now we're going to focus on the FA Cup. And our first game is Sheffield United versus Arsenal. We know cup games traditionally the scoring goes up a little bit, especially when you get into this stage of the tournament, the quarterfinals. Guys can kind of see the trophy. It's starting to come into focus, and everybody wants to lift a trophy at this point of the season. We actually like, Arsenal scoring a fair amount of goals. They're getting about 10 more goals a game than Sheffield. But on the flip side, Arsenal's giving up 11 more goals than Sheffield is giving up. So we're going to take BTTS, which we know that is both teams to score. So take Sheffield United versus Arsenal, both teams to score, and that comes in at minus 134. Staying on Saturday's action with the FA Cup, Manchester United is playing Norwich. Huge favorites here against Norwich, as they should be. Norwich will not even be a Premier League team next season. There's not even one player on Norwich that can walk into this Manchester United squad. So Norwich is just bad. Like I said, they won't even be a Premier League team come next season. So complete mismatch. Kind of had to get fancy here with how I wanted to make this bet. Just because the odds of obviously Manchester United winning the game outright, you can't really bet. They're not in your favor. So what I've done here is I've found a prop for Manchester United starting the game off down 1-0. So Manchester United starting the game off down 1-0, and those odds come in at plus 138. And I obviously think Manchester United is going to win by 2 or more, and that's what you'll need to win this bet. I see Manchester United winning 2-0, 3-0, maybe possibly even 4-0. Maybe Norwich gets in a goal, but United's going to put 3 or 4 goals past Norwich. Norwich is just a very, very sloppy, terrible team. So if you go ahead and take that, that comes in at plus 138, and those odds are obviously outstanding. Otherwise, it's really hard to bet that game. You could take the over/under, but it's tough. I'd rather just go with Manchester United down 1-0 and rely on their offensive firepower really to put goals past Norwich, which I know they will. All right, staying with the FA Cup action, let's look at Leicester versus Chelsea. We've got that game going on. That's going to be good here. So this is obviously teams that are third and fourth place in the Premier League. Leicester's looking kind of good in terms of their Champions League spot, although Chelsea's certainly closed the gap, and Chelsea's coming off a monster win against Manchester City in midweek. So now they get a little bit of a breathing room. Now they're up 5 points on Manchester United for that all-important fourth place. I see both of these teams come out and just swinging at each other. Look, you want to get to Wembley. You want to play in a semifinal game. I think this one's going to hit the over of 2.5. So take Leicester versus Chelsea over 2.5, and that one comes in at minus 124. So again, excellent odds. We got one more bet involving Leicester and Chelsea. I actually also think both teams are going to score. So I'm so confident that both teams are going to score in that game. I've actually parlayed that. Both teams to score in that game. I've parlayed that with both teams to score in Sheffield United versus Arsenal. And those odds come in at plus 182. So parlay BTTS in both of those games. You'll make yourself a lot of money at plus 182. All right, one more bet here to get to in the last FA Cup game is Newcastle versus Manchester City. I really don't want to get too fancy with this. I mean, I could see, Manchester City maybe winning in different ways, or I could also see, Steve Bruce setting up his Newcastle squad just very defensively. If this game gets into any sort of open kind of flow kind of game, Newcastle will just get crushed completely by, Manchester City. I think Steve Bruce is only real tactic if he wants to come out and win this game. Set up defensively and just hope Joe Ellington can hit them on the counter for a goal is really his only chance, and maybe squeaking out a 1-0 victory with him just putting the other 10 guys behind the ball and they just play solid defense for the whole 90 minutes. So I'm not going to get fancy. What I'm going to do is I parlayed Manchester City with Manchester United. If you parlay Manchester United and Manchester City's money line, that comes in at minus 125. So that's what I did there. Not going to get fancy with that game. I just expect City to win, and then I definitely actually like them coming off a loss against Chelsea, refocus, and they got the added kind of motivation of they've already won the 2020 Carabao Cup, so they got one trophy. Let's go ahead and get another one. But the winner, guys, of the FA Cup plays the winner of the Premier League in next season's Community Shield. And I think Manchester City really wants to be in that Community Shield real bad. I think there's a lot of talk out there about Liverpool taking over their reign, them, being the best team in England, which it's hard to disagree with that. They are the Champions League defending champions. They're going to win the Premier League by a wide margin this season. But I think City wants to say, hey, don't forget about us. We're still right here. We're a huge threat in this league. So they want to be in that Community Shield. So I like that parlay there with Manchester United. All right, guys, as for Sunday's bets, I'll probably end up having some more, so look for me on Twitter there. I'll tweet them out Saturday evening as I normally do. Let's see how these bets go on Saturday throughout the course of the day and Sunday. I'm eyeing some, and obviously the one here today, I've already eyed some UFC bets. I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger and putting them in, but I just want to see how our bet goes today on Friday. Let's see how our bet goes on Saturday. So look for me to maybe possibly tweet out some UFC bets Saturday afternoon, early Saturday evening. We'll see if we can't get some UFC action on for you guys. All right, and then I've got the video up over my shoulder. There's two $25,000 jackpots for this weekend's NASCAR race, so check that video out. Hopefully maybe we can claim some of those jackpot monies. Had a good time hanging out with you guys today, as always. I'll look for you guys next time on Monday, Someday. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.